I am Tenengite, and first the headlines. The overseer of the vice presidency calls on Gambians in Rwanda to partake in the Gambia's North development agenda. The Chief of Defense Staff makes a media chief saying the army will open its doors to the media. Angola's long-serving leader steps down after nearly 4 decades in power. And Barcelona's Muslim community condemns the recent terror attack in the city. Well, now, viewers, these and more coming ahead in this half hour. Again, I am Tenengite. And now the news in detail. The overseer of the vice presidency, Madam Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, has called on the Gambian community in Rwanda to join in the reform agenda towards building a new Gambia. Madam Jallow Tambajang made the remarks in Kigali as she attended the inauguration of President Paul Kagame. Kerisha Jallow has more in this report.
Part of her visit in Kigali, Madam Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang engaged Gambians that are residing in Rwanda to share their experiences, challenges, while urging them to take part in building a new Gambia.
So this is a responsibility, and also it's also premised on His Excellency Adama Barrow's call for all Gambians in diaspora to come. He wants everybody on board because he wants the Gambians to be in the driver's seat. He wants Gambians to own the narratives, and he wants our Gambians that nobody should be left behind in development. He wants to provide, his agenda is a reform agenda, ranging from constitutional, legal, and social, at the same time economic reforms.
The East African country that suffered a genocide in 1994 has gone a long way in bringing unity and development to its people. An example that African countries should emulate, she said.
His Excellency Paul Kagame has set up his agenda, which is continued consolidation of peace that he initiated when he came to power 22 years. Rwandans are now unified. They have all embraced Rwanda as agenda. Actually, constitutionally, you cannot differentiate one Rwandese from the other. By ethnicity, they all call themselves Rwandese.
The Gambians we spoke to explain how Rwanda used technology to drive efficiency and reduce corruption across all sectors.
It's a country that believes in the rule of law. You know, everything goes according to the law. So, which I think it's really one of the things that is really driving everything. Execution is everything. You can have the right strategies, but if there are no people to implement, then it really doesn't work.
Her Excellency Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang described her visit in Kigali as successful, saying Africans should take ownership of their continent's development agenda. Khadijatu Jallow, GRTS News.
Now on the home front, Madam Jallow Tambajang Wednesday presided over the handing over ceremony of medical items to the Ministry of Health. The donation was made by Jaha Dukure, a Gambian based in the United States of America. Lee Mendy has more.
The Minister of Health and Social Welfare was full of praise for Jaha Dukure. The Gambian American-based philanthropist Wednesday donated a 40-foot container of medical items to the ministry. Wheelchairs and infant warmers are among the items.
This container is one of the best containers we have ever received. Because if I cannot I'm at one particular item and tell you is the most needed. But talking about gloves and the infant warmer is very needed. Because you can see with the infant warmer, if you have a premature baby, you can just put it in to run immediately upon delivery. So all these items are highly needed, and it's of a big interest to the health sector because they are basically surgical items and hospital materials, especially with wheelchairs, which we have a very heavy demand.
Jaha's benevolence, as the Health Ministry puts it, is the kind of partnership the government is soliciting. Health, Madam Lo Cisse went on, should be the business of all.
This gift, I believe, will go a long way in addressing the acute shortages that the health sector is going through right now. and in addressing the strategies that the health sector is going through right now. This is the spirit of the new Gambia that is being amply demonstrated by this young and dynamic Gambian.
For Jaha, the love for home is the reason for the gesture. Thanks to Netshare, her donor partner.
I think I feel good as a young Gambian and someone who has the opportunity to come back home and do something like this. Even though my organization doesn't focus on health, and this doesn't benefit the organization in anything that we do, but for me it was important because it was something that was needed by our country, and I think that it's a responsibility and obligation of every Gambian, if you have access to things like this, to be able to bring it back to your country and do more for your country. So I'm very happy, my team is happy, and we're happy that this is going to continue.
The handing over ceremony was officiated by the overseer of the Vice Presidency.
This is what the new Gambia demands. What it demands is commitment, more people coming forward, putting our hands together and rebuilding our nation. Nobody can build our nation. People can support us, but the responsibility of rebuilding our nation through strategic support like this is a responsibility on everybody, every Gambian. And we are doing this because of you young people.
Jaha, knowing how important her gifts are to the government, says she intends to do this on a regular basis. Jaha is already running a charity called Safe Hands for Girls, designed to stop violence against women. It was founded in 2010. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
The Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Masana Kinte, Tuesday visited the office of the Gambia Press Union. The CDS was accompanied by senior officers of the armed forces. Farmer Kanye has details in this report.
The Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Masana Kinte, to the Gambia Press Union offices is historic in nature. But it is one of his reform plans as the first CDS to take such a move. Awaited by some senior media chiefs, the floor was open for both parties to interact. Tab Sen is the co-publisher of the Punch newspaper. He has the media experience of over 40 years. He said CDS Kinte is the first in the country's history to bring the army close to the media.
We are citizens. We know whenever it is necessary to write information to inform and educate our audience. Because, as you rightly said, information is very sensitive. If not all information that we know we should publish, this can cause havoc. I would like to suggest, if it is possible, to have every 6 months this kind of gathering for media owners, Gambia Press Union, and the Gambia Armed Forces to meet, to discuss, to interact, to see how best our cooperation will be enhanced.
The Gambia Armed Forces have been continuously criticized by both local and the international press. Accessing information from the army used to be difficult for the press.
The armed forces need the media because you will have information which you need to pass on to the public. The media also needs the armed forces because we need information that we want to transmit to the public. So that partnership is a partnership, and we go further because issues have to be debated. So the media serves as a platform, issues can be debated, and at the same time too, it serves as a platform.
If you can extend this good hand to other institutions like the police, the SIS, the prison,
anywhere, the army has now promised to open its door to the public, and more so the media.
If we are reading the press, we don't really read the press because we want the press to be kind to us. We are reading the press because we want the press to understand us. And we are also reading the press for the press to give out information in such a way that it is not going to unduly, affect the image of the armed services.
This new approach by the new army command contrasts with that of the former regime. This is a show of the army's willingness to ensure that Gambians take ownership of their national armed forces. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Famarakani.
Meanwhile, a two-week capacity building training for senior officers of the Gambia Armed Forces has concluded at the Joint Officers Mess in Kotu. As Jallo reports, the training forms part of CDS Kinte's initiatives designed to strengthen the military's professionalism.
In his statement, the Minister of the Interior, Ahmad Manifati, described the training as timely, noting that the development of the army is a key government priority.
Essentially, therefore, I have the strongest conviction that this training is going to help you relate to various activities going on geared towards good governance. I want to emphasize on some facts directed to the course participants that the fine art of listening to seasoned instructors and mentors will pay off well. Make every attempt to remember all the facts or think of how well to relate to things to enable you to remember those facts. You are prepared not to succumb to the failure, to the future success of your chosen career, but to bear responsibilities with open zeal and vigor. This forum should go a long way to better equip you with better understanding of the topics treated and with the required knowledge to fulfill your duties.
Minister Fati pointed out that government will continue to support the endeavor to train not only officers but all class of soldiers in their fields of study. The Chief of Defence Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Masani Kinte, said the training provided a platform to educate on contemporary military doctrines to enhance better understanding of democratic governance.
The successful conduct of this training period largely depends on teamwork that has been exhibited. The teamwork is an integral part of military ethics. Even when we deploy, or even when you are deployed on your own in dispersed positions, you are part of a team, and the effectiveness of the team will depend on each individual, seen or unseen, playing his or her role to the fullest, and upon the degree to which you contribute to the cohesion of the team as a whole. Success in such conditions depend above all on good morale, which is the spirit that embodies the soldier to triumph over adversity. Therefore, as officers, you should be elements of moral boosters. You have been equipped with the necessary tool from this course to lead your subordinates.
General Kinte revealed that the course has equipped the participants with the requisite knowledge on a wide range of issues, including military leadership, security sector governance, amongst others.
The forging of professional bond, personal trust, and consequently high morale is best achieved through upholding and sustaining cherished traditions, customs, and ethics. It is on the tenets of these rich traditions of the Gambia Armed Forces that the essential qualities for military service can be germinated and nurtured. Fighting spirit and success depend on both physical and moral courage. Essentially, therefore, the just ended training is going to help you a lot if you are ready to recollect what has been taught and make it your reference material in the execution of future assignments.
CDS Kinte used the opportunity to thank the cream of resource persons and mentors from all fields of work for their invaluable contribution to the success and continuity of this program. In another development, the Office of the Vice President, through the Minister of the Interior, presented IT equipment to the Chief of Defence Staff, Lieutenant General Masani Kinte. The donated items include a PS system, 2 laptops, and a projector. Participants were awarded certificates whilst the vote of thanks was delivered by Navy Captain Fatou Chaite Balde. The ceremony was graced by service chiefs and senior officers of the Gambia Armed Forces. For GRTS News, this is Jallo reporting.
More witnesses continue to testify before the Commission of Inquiry into former President Yahya Jammeh's financial dealings. The latest to face the Commission are Ansumana Jammeh, Karamba Toure, and others. Ned Mudemba has more in this report.
The latest individuals to appear before the Commission of Inquiry are Ansumana Jammeh, former ambassador to Qatar, businessman Tony Gagas, and Karamba Toure, Auditor General of the Gambia. Jammeh explained the various positions he held and what his mandate included. With regards to the ownership of the Alhamdulillah Petroleum and Mining Company, APAM, for which he was managing director, Jammeh said the ownership of the company was unclear to him.
I would say I don't know. I don't know who owns the business.
Sorry?
I don't know who owns the business. I know I've been appointed at the office of the president level to run the business. But to say that Mr. X owns the business, I don't know.
Who were you working for?
Huh?
Who were you working for as far as you were concerned?
As far as I'm concerned, I was working for the president.
Jammeh was questioned on what the APAM company was mining in URR and his shares in the Kanilaiwoni family farms.
I have no idea. No clue. As to what they were managing or Paribon, I don't know. I was a shareholder, but I think that was by name, because I have not participated in anything. That belongs to Kanilaiwoni family farms.
Okay. So you are saying you are a shareholder in name only?
By name, yeah.
Businessman Tony Gatas was next to be questioned. He was employed as managing director of APAM in 2015. In addition, his company Gatsting provided transportation and other services.
I used to do transportation for Maersk Line. And they had some contracts with Carnegie Minerals. I was helping also with the export as a sort of broker, because the Chinese head office in Hainan, they don't know Gambia. Make sure that the containers will go full from here to them.
Gatas said most of his payments and receipt documentations were taken from him. Following Gatas was the Auditor General of the Gambia, Keramba Toure.
The account that is presented to us, most of these accounts are treated as below the line accounts, what the government calls below the line accounts. They are deposits held in trusts of third parties, and so we don't really audit it.
All three are to reappear before the Commission with relevant documents. For GRTS News, I am Leku Mademba.
And now to this. The consultative meeting of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission Wednesday met the people of Bakau to discuss issues relating to their work. The consultative meeting also availed alleged victims of abuse by the past regime the opportunity to share their ordeal. Fatimata Cham Jammeh has more in this report.
The TRRC Consultative Committee continues its nationwide tour to familiarize the masses with the Commission and avail their experiences during Yaya Jammeh's 22-year rule. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Tamedu, said the establishment of the TRRC is in fulfillment of government's promise to deliver justice to the people. Minister Tamedu encourages perpetrators to acknowledge their wrongs to ensure genuine national reconciliation. He warned that those that hold back the truth will face the law. The Alcala of Bakau, Luntan Jaite, welcomed the initiative and called on his people to make best use of the opportunity availed to them by the Commission. Usman Jammeh is a former employee of Yaya Jammeh. He explains his ordeal.
I was arrested on the 15th of October 2015 whilst I was on trek to URR to do the inauguration for the World Food Day celebration. I was recalled by the Vice President and that I was served with a letter to say that I was relieved from the position of Deputy Minister of Agriculture. Then I was whisked into the NIA headquarters where I was kept for 2 days without actually knowing the crime I've committed. I think that itself is an atrocity. And then later I was transferred to my 2 central prisons where I was kept under solitary confinement 22 hours a day without coming out for about 2 months. Then it was reduced to 18 hours a day. Then I was fed with very bad food. That is food that has sand in it. That is the kus or the cherry. And also a pap that also was infested with sand. so that I should be eating that type of food. And the other issue is whenever lunch is cooked, it is cooked, the rice that is cooked is bad quality rice. And also the fish with which it is cooked, the fish is overcooked most of the time, so that it is very difficult to chew, so that my protein requirements will not be given, so that I will suffer from malnutrition. Indeed, at the present I suffered from malnutrition, and other people also suffered from malnutrition.
Usman Yabo of Tango said the commission should include Jammeh victims in order to speed up the process.
We Gambians should agree on the setting of this commission. That's one. Because we do not want to have a repeat of what had happened during the past 22 years. So that is important. Two, when we are setting up this commission, or when we agree to set this commission, we must put down some specific things that the public should know. You talk of compensation. In what form? At what range? Who determines that range? It's important that those decisions are made before the commission starts work.
The TRRC bill is expected to be passed in September, but the process proper will begin in December. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Fatoumata Cham Jammeh.
The Policy Analysis Unit of the Office of the President Wednesday wrapped up a seminar aimed at boosting the competence of its people. The forum, as Amadou Bajan reports, was held in consultation with Senegal's Policy Analysis Unit.
The two-day event seeks to revitalize the unit's operations. The Director of Policy Analysis Unit, Faba Jammeh, explained that this is necessary for a directorate which has been seemingly dormant.
The PAU has been a hidden unit in the Office of the President. To do that, we have to create this seminar. We invite stakeholders to come, and then we share our thoughts in a bid to have a system or a unit that is vibrant, a unit that is very effective, and a unit that is going to be dependable by the executive and also by the sector ministries.
This engagement is held in collaboration with consultants as well as officials of the Senegalese Policy Analysis Unit. Its Director Mubarak Lo dilated on the importance of strengthening such crucial units.
It's important that before the President decides to have a unit close to him that can advise on political issue, study the draft document prepared by ministries and agencies, if necessary, make correction and send it back to ministries, and at the final stage, the cabinet or the president can decide with all information regarding the technical aspect of the file.
In separate presentations, National Think Tank Coordinator Serigne Fallou Diop and Mariam Wadasar highlighted best practices of policy analysis, stressing its importance in the implementation of government's policies and objectives.
On policy monitoring is mainly the PAU, Central Bank, as well as the departments and agencies. And there are two things we're proposing here. One is, as we've been talking about, developing what we call a policy monitoring dashboard, and we hope we will be able to bring it back. But this time it's not just offline, but also online, where we can have a dashboard that depicts or tracks progress of the various policies being implemented.
As the Gambia engages with her Senegalese counterparts in several areas of development, policy experts Faba Jammeh and Mubarak Lo regard this policy analysis initiative as a good move for both parties.
One of the key challenges is we are under-resourced in terms of the human resource, in terms of the material resource. But this seminar will provide us the opportunity to assess all of those things together so that government will know how to address the issues lying in the PAU unit.
While hoping for similar capacity building engagements, officials are hopeful to further boost the activities of the Policy Analysis Unit at the Office of the President. Modu Bajan, GRTS.
The report by Bajan brings us to our breaking return. The news continues right here. Do stay with us. Welcome back and now to news from beyond our borders. For most Angolans, Jose Eduardo dos Santos is the only president they have ever known. In power since 1979, he's been one of Africa's longest ruling leaders. But what legacy does he leave behind? CGTN's Volde Coralsa takes a look at his legacy.
Angola's civil war was one of Africa's bloodiest. Fighting broke out after independence in 1975 and would last for 27 years. 7 years. More than 500,000 people died.
Com derrota total, camaradas, membros do governo.
Many Angolans credit President José Eduardo dos Santos for reviving the country. When he took office, Angola was in ruins, but he turned the country into one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, fueled by its oil. For some, Dos Santos is an example to the entire continent.
So Dos Santos is seen in the region and on the continent as having a country and a form of governance that many have aspired to. He dictated absolutely the terms of how the peace was going to be implemented. He was not donor dependent. He didn't have a UN peacekeeping mission on the continent. So he defined in his own terms how he was going to build the post-conflict state. So for many in the region, this is an example to follow.
Others are less convinced. Some critics say only a few have benefited from Angola's economic miracle.
His party, and for the political elite around him, he has served incredibly well. You have the core supporters of the MPLA party, which also think of him as almost in this like a messiah. He has almost this godlike figure for segments of his party, where he is infallible, where Dos Santos has done very little that is wrong for the country. Then you will have segments within his own party who have been disappointed, who expected more. They are now in the opposition.
Angola's economy has also been struggling thanks to the fall in oil prices in 2014. Inflation hit 40% at the end of last year, and annual growth was less than 1%. Dos Santos' chosen successor has made clear the challenges. João Lourenço says his mission is to revive the economy. Even so, few expect Lourenço to stray too far from Dos Santos' approach to government. Volde Coralsa, CGTN.
Barcelona's Muslim community has been quick to condemn last week's terror attacks. Still, there have already been a number of anti-Muslim incidents across Spain. CGTN's Dan Williams examines what the Muslim community is doing to distance itself from these attackers.
Just to the west of Las Ramblas, scene of the terror attack last Thursday, is the gritty neighbourhood of Raval. The area is known for its diverse community. The large Muslim population here is hurting, along with the rest of the city. The community has organised a number of rallies following the attack. The objective, to condemn the atrocities and to show unity with the rest of the city.
I think the message was this, that people were really sorry for what has happened, and they wanted to give the message that they are not representing Islam under any way. They don't even we don't even consider that they are Muslims.
The Muslim community has been quick to strongly condemn the attacks, but there are fears of a backlash and a potential rise in Islamophobia. There have been a number of alarming signals. Anti-Muslim graffiti has appeared at mosques, while a pig's head was left outside a mosque in Madrid. At Raval's Islamic Centre, the developments have not gone unnoticed.
Some things happens in last days with me in person, but I know this is the moment of pain. It is not good sign that the arrest is increasing, especially after attack of Barcelona, Ramblas.
There is also the question of radicalisation. Government statistics show that in 2017, authorities conducted 11 anti-terror operations in Catalonia and detained 7 suspected extremists. That's more than any other region in Spain. But Nafiz Hamid A radicalisation expert with Artis International plays down the significance.
It is the region that has disproportionately the largest number of radical cells or individuals, but those numbers are still pretty small. I mean, the vast majority of immigrants, second-generation converts, whoever, are not radicalizing.
The suffering for Barcelona continues following the attacks last week, but that pain is a shared one across all communities. Dan Williams, CGTN, Barcelona.
And now viewers, for a look at the weather update, we join the Central Forecast Office.
I'm Dab Rahmatullah, and this is the latest weather report from the Central Forecast Office. The past 24 hours was characterized by cloudy and relatively warm atmosphere, with rain and thunderstorms affecting some part of the country, particularly in the morning. Cumulative rainfall figures recorded at 6 a.m. is 41.9 millimeters, and that's over Yundu. And now to the satellite image receives current weather conditions in Africa indicates convective clouds over the Gulf of Guinea stretching towards Central and Eastern Africa, likewise over Mali moving towards the Senegambia region, and this will cause lightning, thunderstorm, and rain activities over those affected areas. Tonight, cloudy and humid atmosphere will prevail with thunderstorm and rain showers over some parts of the country. And for the weather tomorrow, we're expecting thunderstorm and rain showers rather in the morning, which will later give way to generally cloudy and humid atmosphere thereafter. Surface wind flow will mainly be southerly in direction, with speed ranging from 5 to 20 kilometers per hour. Minimum temperatures expected across the country will range from 23 to 24 degrees Celsius, and to be more specific, 23 degrees Celsius over the western sector of the country and 24 over the eastern part of the country. And as we move towards afternoon, temperatures are expected to increase to 30 degrees Celsius over Greater Bank areas and West Coast region, 31 degrees Celsius over Central River region, and the rest of the country will record 32 degrees Celsius. And now to the marine forecast. There will be low tide of 0.3 meter at 5 a.m. and 0.1 meter at 6 p.m. High tide of 2.0 meters at 12 a.m. and 1.7 meters at 12 p.m. Seaside will be moderate with significant wave height of 2 to 3 meter northwesterly swells. The sun is expected to rise at 10 minutes to the hour 7 in the morning and will set at 26 minutes past the hour 7 in the evening. That's it for today's forecast. Thanks for watching and good night.
Thank you for the report, and now viewers will come to the end of this newscast. Before we take leave of you, a reminder of our headlines once more. The overseer of the Vice Presidency, Aja Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, has called on her compatriots in Rwanda to partake in the Gambia's development agenda. The Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces Wednesday met media chiefs, saying the army will open its doors to the media. Angola's long-serving leader, Jose Eduardo dos Santos, is stepping down after nearly 4 decades in power. And Barcelona's Muslim community has condemned the recent terror attack in the city, which left more than a dozen people dead. Well, viewers, that was all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Keep watching GRTS. I am Tilin GT, and you have plenty of time ahead.